Hey guys, welcome to my biannual real estate market update. Kids are back in school and going into third quarter, so I thought it was a good time to kind of review what's been going on and what they're saying is going to happen going into next year. So I have a lot to unpack today. Let's dig right in. As usual, the information that I'm providing to you, I've gathered from the leading economic advisors, both in the real estate industry and the mortgage banking industry, my go-to guys, and they're pretty dead on, so I feel comfortable relaying this information to you that they're telling me. Want to cover three topics today. Number one, why the market is not going to crash. Number two, the mortgage rate predictions. And then lastly, we'll kind of summarize both of those and talk about the housing market predictions and where we think it's going to go moving into next year. So let's dig right in. So the headlines, of course, the media continues to provide you with confusing, conflicting, clickbait information in the news and fill in their news cycles with whatever they can. And it is no wonder that consumers are fearful, and they are fearful. I hear from buyers on a pretty regular basis that say they're going to wait until the prices come down to make a home purchase. And I hate to hear them say that because it's not a good move financially to do that. And I want to share with you some reasons why. All right. It is physically impossible for us to go back to the 2007, 2008 real estate market crash. 39% of Americans have over 100% equity in their homes, and another 29% have over 50% equity in their homes. So 68% of Americans have more than 50% equity in their homes, which is incredible. The other scenario is we don't have predatory lending practices in place anymore. That was all corrected after the crash. It really takes a lot to qualify for a loan. They're not just giving them out. You have to prove that you've got to pay that back over the long term. So it is difficult to qualify for a loan. So we're not going to have a market crash. We're not going to have a surge of foreclosures come into the market. Now, 2022 was a peak year for home values, right? We just came off 2021 and home values were up 9%. Then 2022, they were up an additional 10%. And so now the home values are not increasing as fast. They have flattened. And so what that means is the home increase percentage is going back to more of a single digit increase versus the double digits that we've seen, 10%. So single digit increases over a traditional over a year is more typical of what you see. So the home values, the increase is decelerating. It's not depreciating. The home values are not depreciating. Just the rate of increase in those values is decelerating. It's going back to a more traditional increase percentage annually. All right, so it's important to understand the difference there. Mortgage rate predictions. What are they saying about mortgage rates? Well, we've had a couple tough years there too, right? 2022, 2023, we've had how many increases in the rates with the Feds trying to correct the economy. And typically history shows us that the Feds typically overcorrect on the rates, and then they have to reverse course, and the percentages, they have to come back and make some rate decreases. So that's what they're saying is going to happen. That's what they're predicting, is that into 2024, we're going to see the rates come down to around 5.5%, and then potentially even 4.5% going into 2025, based on where the Fed wants to be with inflation. Indicators are saying that inflation is coming down. It's probably lower than what they're reporting. So that's where they're coming up with these interest rate predictions. And I feel like they're pretty dead on. Now, but don't let those predictions keep you from buying the home, the dream home of your choice. Because here's a couple scenarios that I want you to think about if you're a potential buyer out there. So if you buy now and the rates go down, well, then you refinance. All right. And there are also ways to buy down the rate now, all right, that you can do that. The other thing is, if you buy now and the rates go up, then you made a good purchase. If you buy now and the home prices go up, which they will, then you made a good purchase. But if you don't buy now, those home prices are going to go up. And that's why real estate is such a good investment, right? They continue to go up year after year. Every now and then we may have a very short time minimal correction, just like in any market, but they're minimal and they're very short term. So typically your home prices always go up, which is why it's such a good investment. All right. So let's dig into the housing prices, how we're going to maintain those, and then also what the market's looking like. Number one is the buyer pool. So we have a lot of buyers in the market. We have a lot more buyers that are coming into the market, that will be coming into the market. Especially if the rates come down, we're going to see more of an influx, right, of people that may have been pushed out of the market because the rates went up too high. We have over 3 million households in the United States that make over $150,000 a year, and they're not in the market because they're renters right now. We also are going to have an influx from the millennials. This is going to be the biggest buyer pool that has entered the market in all the history of keeping track of buyers in the market, bigger than the baby boomers. And they're at our doorstep, right? They're not even, some are in the market, but there's a lot that have not entered the market yet. So those are two big pools of people that we see not in the market currently. The other factor involved, right? The buyer pool over here we have no inventory, and we haven't had inventory. That's been another problem, but that keeps the prices up. And that keeps that floor for the prices at a level place, right? So we have the lowest amount of inventory in place right now since 1999. We also have a 1.6 million shortfall, housing shortfall, to be able to take care of the buyers that we have in the market right now. That doesn't include these millennials that are going to be entering the market. And so we have a huge home shortage. In Frederick County right now, we have 200 resale homes available. Typical market is more like 14 or 1,600. It's been like that for several years, and my professional opinion is that it's going to take us many years to correct this shortfall. So with that being said, the rates coming down, they will allow some of these home sellers to enter the market that maybe have been holding off going, well, I'm sitting on a 3% mortgage. Why would I sell my house and buy at a 7% mortgage? So if we can get those rates down, it's going to narrow that gap. So maybe it's going to make it more realistic for them to make that move. And that'll help. That'll add some more inventory. I think we'll see that next year. We still have new construction, which is moving along. It's still nowhere near where it needs to be. So we still are going to have a shortfall of inventory, which is going to keep the prices level. But it's still going to make it tough for those buyers. You're going to have to really get out there and do your research. But I think it's going to be better. They're predicting the next few years it's really going to be much better. We're over the hump. Things are going to really start looking up, and so I'm excited about that for everybody. So I hope this is good information for you and relevant information. Folks, I've been in the industry for over 12 years, and navigating this awkward and technical environment that we've been going through, if I'd love to work with you or your loved one or someone you know to get them the good information, the truthful information that they need to make an informed decision on the biggest purchase of their lives, right? Real estate is always your biggest investment for the most part. So hope you found this helpful. I'll catch you on the next one, and take care.